Hi guys, welcome back. Kelly here. I wanted to do this video today. I was just drawn to do it again. Spirit was tapping me on the shoulder to do it. It's mainly going to be just for twin flames around two different points I want to make. And however, if you're watching this and you're not on the twin flame journey, then you certainly could benefit still from this, because some of the scenarios in here I'm going to talk about with outsiders interfering and derailing us from our path, well, kind of fits with everybody. But I guess I was just I'm focusing more on twin flames, the divine masculine and feminine, because this is a time where it's really imperative for us to stay on path and not be derailed, and to stay in our really stand our ground in our sovereignty and just and a truth, of course, and just not let anybody interfere with that. And at the moment, especially with twins over the years, and I just saw 111 when I looked up. Twins over the years, there's been a lot of interference with us because, well, we all know the bigger picture. If you're a twin flame on this journey with your beloved, you all know the bigger picture of why certain energies don't really want twins to come into union, and because of the greater effect that twins have for humanity and Earth. And I'm speaking hugely, and most of you already know what that is, and I'm going to do a video on that at some point in the near future anyway. So it's very, very, very important. I can't express the very so much. I'm a writer. You think I would find a better word than very? No, it's extremely imperative and important for twins, because what they are doing and what they're here to do, I should say, as leadership and stepping up into that role. And that's for everybody with humanity, because as I talked about in my last video, I think it was, about how we are also here. And for instance, my twin and I, we activate the new DNA in the masculine and feminine. We are geographically situated in Australia here as the ones that do that. So it's kind of quite very, detrimental to, and I'm going to say it that way because it is, to humanity and Australia and people here, for us to be able to help with that and the activations. And so anyway, that's not what the video is about, and I don't want to get into that. That's for another one. But because of that, I do want to talk about, for the twins, the interference. And it's because of this time, and today I'm doing this on the full moon in Libra, and we're going into the equinox energies. There's so much going on. There's been the collapse of the all the karmic energies, the masculines, towers collapsing, everything's kind of collapsing around that, and so much preparing for twin flame unions to come into union together and into that balance for those that have done considerable amount of work. And my dog is going to go barking again. So the two things I wanted to talk about today, I had to stop the video and go and get him because he would have just barked, wouldn't you, the whole time? So the main things I wanted to talk about for twins, and please don't switch off if you are on this journey before I say this, but there are it's about the interference through others and how that works. So I know we all know that anybody on their path can have interference, and it does come back to, yes, absolutely, us choosing to not allow that to happen, and I'll get down into that in a second, but in a few minutes. But what I've found and on my journey, I can't really say this has happened to me, but by working with a lot of twin flames and clients, and just over the years seeing a lot of comments and talking to people, a lot of twins try and seek that validation outside of themselves, to, if they're connected, to this person. And I have never really had that problem. I've never really, but again, I guess my circumstance was a little different because a lot of people I speak to already knew about twin flames before they met their beloved. So if you already know what it's all about, and then you meet someone, from what I've heard from others, they do have that doubt sometimes, particularly if the divine masculine or feminine, whichever way it goes, is not validating it, is not saying they feel the same way, or is not coming forward, or whatever they're doing. And it creates the doubt. And the sort of the running type common denominator I saw in that was that I worked with people over the years, and that I also have spoken to, is losing my words today. I told you it's these energies. It's like, whoa, it's amazing. Is that it seemed to be the ones that knew about twin flames before that would doubt the connection and want to go and seek validation from somewhere or someone, like a healer, a shaman, a reader, psychic medium, whatever. I never had that because I didn't know anything about this connection. I didn't know anything about twin flames. I only knew that soulmates existed. I never knew there was such a connection like this. Now, I kind of did. I knew about love, and I knew it wasn't what we perceive it is to be on Earth, because in my book, Flying Without Wings, which I do have here, I travelled with my twin in spirit form because we have an age gap. He's younger. So from 3 years old, I remember travelling with this beautiful energy with me. And it's a beautiful story, so you can... I get teary too when I talk about it. It's so beautiful. So you can go and read it, if you would really love to read that story. And there's a lot of other aspects and elements in there as well to help anybody. It's not a twin flame book per se, but it's definitely talks about the journey and how I knew of a greater love. So, but in terms of meeting someone, by the time I met my beloved, I probably never thought I was going to find that love, if you know what I mean. But I didn't know anything about twin flames and how it works, and they're the mirror, and when you meet, this happens and that happens and all the rest of it. So we were on our journey for, and I was going to talk about this, but I'll just say this for a little bit, then I'll move back to the other parts I was going to talk about. We were on our journey for about 5 years before I discovered what even twin flames were. And when I got told by Rita that we were in fact not soulmates but twin flames, and I said, what's that? And I went and looked it up. The very first, when I Googled it, the very first thing that came up about twin flames was about age gaps. So for a while there, I thought all twin flames had age gaps. Spirit guided me to exactly what I wanted to read. When I was reading this blog that I found when I typed in twin flames back then, a long time ago, the first thing that came up, this blog, was kind of like, I was just shocked. It was like someone had wrote this blog about my twin and I. Every single thing matched up. And so I had absolutely no doubt. And I was kind of relieved because I'm like, oh, gosh, now I can understand why this is not working like a soulmate thing, and why all this kind of chaos in ways. I mean, there was so many beautiful moments too, but there was a lot of chaos going on, and I couldn't understand it. So there was a lot of, like, the mirror was reflecting so many things for both of us and sending us in different directions, and chaos, and because obviously we were doing the work of twin flames and showing the mirror and trying to heal, but we didn't know that's what it was doing. So we were just kind of all over the place. But getting back to what I was going to say, so for me, there's never been any doubt. That doesn't mean that I embraced it all straight away and off we went. I still had a lot of healing to do. I had a lot of things to break down. But what it did do is give me a direction then and tell me, and I could understand exactly what it was all about. So, but what I find is a lot of twins go and seek help and validation about their beloved. And one of the first questions they'll ask, and I've had this asked to me as well when I've done readings for people, or coaching sessions, twins coach, one of the first things they say is this person my twin? And I found that very strange that people would ask that, because I always knew 1,000,000% without a doubt. However, I can understand why I knew, and these are other people that kind of knew about twins and they were trying to manifest their twin, and then so they got all a bit confused, and then they've had catalysts and, you know, they didn't know if that was the right one or whatever. But what I wanted to say is that our twin, obviously, you know, is us and we are them. They are in you and you are in them. So the way to know if you're connected to someone as a twin is only you, by going inside to your soul, your heart and soul, and connecting fully. And what I find is that I've found a lot of readers, so people that aren't twins but are spiritual and on the path, and people that are doing spiritual work, so whether it's shamans, Reiki healers, any type of sort of healers, readers, mediums, you know, you name it. What happens is some people are going along fine and they go to see one of these and someone will say, oh no, that's not your twin, or oh no, that's your twin but you're not meant to be with him in this life, or oh no, you know, blah blah blah, or the twin flame is you. And so, and what happens is these people start to freak out and they go, oh my god, I'm imagining this, what's going on, whatever. So first of all, I just want to say interference, one word, interference. If you are seeking validation, then those darker entities out there that use people in lower vibrations as a host will absolutely see you coming. They're a step ahead of you. So they already know you're off and booked an appointment for this reader to give you a psychic reading. And depending on that person and where they are at their level of consciousness, because not every reader or psychic or healer, believe it or not, is vibrating at a higher frequency. Twin flames are very, you must know this already as a twin flame. You are very, very high frequency. Now, often we know more than what they can tell us, but we're just either too afraid to step in and ask, or, you know, go internally and ask, too afraid to face these fears, to figure it out ourselves. So off we go and seek, you know, somebody else's help around that. And what happens is that these darker energies are like, yay, this is great, because she's going off to a reader or whatever, and we are going to, you know, act as a spirit to come through them. And as I said, if they're not aligning fully with direct consciousness, God consciousness source, they can pick up on any entities that are hovering around. And what they do is that they'll often pick up these entities to derail you. Okay. Now, some people might say, oh yes, but in a way that's a good thing, because then you're going to drop any expectation. You're going to stop chasing your twin. You're going to actually, you know, go internally yourself and start to do your work, or if you've already started, you're going to do it deeper. You know, or this is spirit guiding you to let go and things like that. And yes, that can sometimes be the reason around that. However, it also can be a part of sending us off path. Because what happens is, once someone tells you that that person's not your twin, and you haven't come to that conclusion yourself, then once someone tells you it's your twin, it's very hard and takes a long time for you to start really working deeply to get to that core part of you to know that it is your twin, right? And at the time, depending on where that person is connecting to whoever, whatever type of being that person is connecting to, right? Whether it's a light being, a dark being, because we can have even light beings. We can have our guides because we need to upgrade our guides. If we can have guides that will be a little bit more cautious, and if they think that, you know, you're not ready to hear something or it's not good, you know, sometimes they can kind of derail us a little bit as well. But now is the time to not allow that to happen. And so that is one type of situation with twins being led off path. Another type is when we go to seek that same help and advice from twins themselves. So when we listen to twins that are putting out a ton of videos, you know, YouTube videos, when we're listening to other spiritual people that might, you know, be on a twin but hiding, on a twin flame path but hiding that, and they're out there, you know, speaking on stage to thousands of people, whatever it is, just because they're a twin flame on this journey does not mean they're not going to try and derail you. Because again, depending on what's going on with them, I have seen dark twins out there. So depending on what's going on with them and what's traveling through them, what's coming through them that they're hosting, okay, they can derail you as well. So one of the biggest things is, you know, twins on the path, twins on the journey that are helping others, saying things like, you know, oh well, twins at the most, one of the common ones is, oh well, twins are only here for you to face yourself and find your truth and go and do your internal work. You know, they're here to shine the mirror and that's it. So again, a false comment. But, however, you have to know your soul, okay? Because you and your twin are one. If you don't know your soul or are connected to yourself so deeply within your soul to understand your mission, understand the love, understand the connection, know that you have this undying love for this person, so deeply connected in every single part, energetically, like through emotionally, physically, spiritually, you know, everything. You are connected mentally, consciously, everything. You are connected to this person because they are you. If you can't feel that and you are not connecting deep into yourself with your twin, then you have to go deeper and you've got more work to do, because that means that you will allow these people to derail you and set you off path. Because a lot of twins, particularly what I see is with the divine feminine, is that they, you know, it's a tough gig. You know, this journey is not for the lighthearted. It is definitely not. It's a tough gig. But the thing is, there is no other, it's beauty. There is no other person on this earth, this planet, anywhere, that can show you how to love yourself so well than your twin. It is sacred. You know, it is a privilege. It is beautiful. So if you're stuck or you're just like, no, like, stuff this shit, I'm not doing this anymore, whatever it is, it's because you're still coming from a place of ego and not willing to go deeper. And we all have those ego moments, and we all want to, you know, at times have those moments like, oh God, you know, I'm just going to give up, or this is whatever. But every time you want to give up, it's not about giving up on your twin. It's about giving up on you. There is no such thing as giving up on your twin. It is giving up on you, okay? And if they're giving up, it's the same thing. They're not giving up on you. They're giving up on themselves, because they haven't learned to love, honor, and respect themselves and the soul that they are so deeply. And that doesn't have to be perfect. There is still going to be healing to do. There's still going to be things to do when you come together in union. You know, you don't have to, you're never going to be perfect. I'm not saying that. However, it's about trust and faith and knowing, undyingly knowing that that is you. that person is you, and that's who you're connected to, and that is where your heart is. You know, that is your love, that is your beloved, that's who you're connected to. You know, that is them, you know, that is you. So for anyone else in that outside world, be it a twin on their journey that is some type of coach or reader or twin flame reader or whatever, or be it somebody that's not on the journey, do not allow anyone else outside of you to tell you who you're connected to tell you how you feel, but to derail you. But don't give someone that power. Don't give a reader or someone that power. Okay, and another thing, when you get it, I don't know if people understand this, when you go for a reading from someone, a psychic reading or something, okay, whatever your fears are, that psychic reader will pick up if they can't determine that. So a good psychic reader that can read energy as well, very, very well, will know if it's, will be able to determine that, okay? But if they can't, they're going to pick up. So if you go and see a reader and you're sitting there going, oh, I don't want this person to be my twin. I don't want this person to be my twin. Oh my God, I have to go through all this. I don't, you know, and going on and on and on and feeding this negativity and feeding this vibe and this energy, then chances are that the reader's going to hook into that and not be able to interpret it as you coming from ego, and that's your ego wanting that or bringing out, and they're possibly going to interpret that as this person's not your twin. And that happens with anything in a psychic reading. So you need to go, if you're going for a reading with someone, you need to be open to hearing anything at all, and not have any judgment around it, not have any expectation around it, not go in with anything, just letting it all go and letting come through what comes through. And that way the reader, healer, whoever you go to see, will have a much clearer picture, vision, energy-wise, everything will have a clearer picture of what's going on with you. So back to the twin thing, you can see the importance of staying in your power and not giving that power away to somebody else to tell you, A, who you're connected to, B, what you're feeling, you know, and see how it goes. Like, because the next step is then, yes, they are your twin, but twins are only here for this and that. I can tell you now, and I have channeled this for years, and I know who we are connected to. I know who we are. My twin and I are masters. You know, we're one of the original pairs of twins, which I've explained before. So, and I can tell you, you know, a lot of information I've received, and some of it I must admit I'll read and I'll go, oh, I can't be bothered even replying to that because I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into that energy. But it has been a little sad to watch out there a lot of the speculation, a lot of this, a lot of, you know, what's being talked about. But twins are here to be in union. Twins are here to be in union. And there's a lot of people that say, oh, well, you know, they're just here this time to be friends, or they're just here this time to live out karma, or they're just here this time to, you know, whatever it is, to shine the light and to help heal us. And there'll be a lot that out there that might be watching this now and will disagree with me and saying, oh, no, because they're in ego. If you're a divine feminine and you are believing that you're not meant to be, well, first of all, if you know 100% that you are a real twin, okay, so let's put that in there, because there are people out there that think they're a twin and they have that feeling that they're not meant to be there, but they're not original twins. Or, sorry, not original, I mean not real twins. So if you are here on earth and you are a real twin flame, okay, and you've found your real twin flame, you are here to be in union. Because at this time on the planet, it's not about what happened in the past. It's not about what happened in past lives and existences. In this time on Earth, the twins have come here for sacred union and for a much bigger picture of what to bring when they're activated with codes and activations for this planet, for Mother Gaia and humanity. And this is why a lot of us have volunteered to come here at this time. And I've got to tell you, you know, I know when I got the information that my twin and I don't come to earth much anymore, and we don't really like coming here, that resonated so much with me. And again, I even knew as a child, you can read it in my book, it was just, I knew. So, but we're here as part of the Awakening team, and it's very much volunteer based, and a lot of twins are here for that reason. They're volunteers. A lot of us are masters. A lot of us, have reached enlightenment on many planets, some all planets. Depending on where your soul fits in, your spirit fits in. But what I can tell you is that if you're kind of listening to this and you're saying, I don't know, well, you need to go deeper. You need to go deeper in with your, because it's your ego that's stopping you. So I have just seen a few twins progress over the years, from going from a place of, yes, they want to be with their twin, and then having to work deeper and being in fear of going deeper. So it's all of a sudden, oh, you know what, I don't need to be with him or her in this lifetime. I'll just move over here and be with a karmic or whatever. And I've watched that play out, and they always, and it just never goes away. It does not go away. It doesn't go away. And the incredible divine intervention at the moment will be really showing you that they're not going away. Like, as in, the higher divine intervention is not going away. It's really here. So I just wanted to touch on those things, and I did speak a little longer than I thought I would, but it's mainly about really sending the message that, just to understand and know, I do not feed, and I don't want you to feed too much energy into the darker entities. But just know that any of those entities, that they'll work through people around you as well. So even when you've got your stuff together and you've stepped into your power and you're on your way and things like that, people that you may live with, or friends, family, like anybody around you, that it's of the lower vibration, they'll find anyone to work through. It's just having that awareness, because I've been playing this out. I have a bit of a laugh about it, but I've been playing it out the last few days even, because I've been trying to get some videos done, and they'll interfere with people around us. They might have people, ringing us and your phone's going off and having conversations and taking you out of, then you don't have time to do it or whatever. But people that are in, I've been hearing from people that are in karmic situations, the divine masculine, having karmic situations where the divine masculine is trying to really step up and step into their soul and who they are, and because they know in their heart and soul, but their karmic situation is in their ear, manipulating and trying to, but let's just do this, and come on, we can fix this, and and there's that sort of stuff going on as well. And so they're worked through again. They're just the host, and whatever entity attaches to them, whether it be trigger like guilt or shame or fear or whatever. But in a way, obviously, we have to heal that anyway within ourselves. And that's what I just wanted to finish by saying, that the only way really that this can derail you is if you are still triggered and have work to do, or you don't trust yourself, your heart, your soul, you're not coming from that place. Because at the end of the day, when you know what you really want, when you know who you want to be with, like, when you know that, or maybe that's not the right choice of words, as in who you want to be, when you know where you're meant to be, and where your heart is, your soul, but more importantly, your own self-respect, your self-honor. When you set your personal boundaries and you don't allow people to walk all over those or derail you, when you know who you are as a soul and your mission work, and you shine your light and step into your sovereignty and say, yeah, okay, let's do this. When you reach that point, then it's a huge awareness that you see when people will try and interfere, and they'll try and say something to you that, will take you off path. So again, if that happens, you know, I always am told that the light is obviously more powerful and wins out, but I've always been told that the divine will always use these situations and turn them around to your advantage. So if someone is coming through and triggering you, if you are choosing to be with someone else instead of your twin, if you're choosing to stay in that situation instead of following your heart and your soul and really stepping into what you're here for, if you're choosing, you know, any other situation like that to derail you away from your twin, then it means there is probably worthiness issues that you still got to go deeper with. So lack of worthiness and you know, fear-based things in there still to come out, because when you can release those, and this is what's happening especially with these full moon energies and everything going on at the moment, it's a lot of breaking down and releasing fear. And this is what, you know, we're really encouraging everybody to release fear around love. So a lot of us have had fear around love, me included. I've had massive walls, you know, I did build this fortress around my heart. And so it's about really, you know, getting and keep doing that work and just not fearing love, you know, not fearing true love. So I just want to finish with saying that please be more aware of that, of people interfering, because what twins are here to do with their light and their love is just beyond incredible. It's just the most magical thing. And you know, I was talking to my aunt yesterday here, and I was she asked me something, and I was going deeper into what we are here to do, and she was just like blown away. She had known for years, but not to that depth, and she was like, "Wow, okay, wow, you know, like that's huge." And so that she's not on a twin flame path or anything. She's sort of not even really on a spiritual journey as such. She's started, but she is still quite in fear of things, and you know, is a person that usually, you know, has to see it with their own eyes type thing. But it was a beautiful conversation, and it was just, it just showed me how people are changing and evolving and moving and open to hearing. So again, make sure you don't hold back sharing who you are, sharing your journey. You don't have to share the details, as in, you know, any personal details, because that's between the two of you. But just don't hold back that you have this greater love, this incredible connection and love, and you're a twin and what you're here to do, and shout it out, because that's the vibe. That is the higher vibration. And the more of us that really, you know, acknowledge that and put it out there and really get it going, that's our light shining. And that light is going to, you know, transmute any darkness around us, not just us, but everybody, you know. And that's what we're here to do as well, you know, to just really get our light out and raise the awareness and consciousness of others and humanity, and just be that shining light that we really are. So I have really waffled on a lot now. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channels and hit the little bell so that you get notified for when I do more. As I said, I wasn't going to do a lot, but specific topics that Spirit guides me to speak on. And please, if you'd like to, I'd love you to grab my book if you feel drawn to. It's called Flying Without Wings by myself, and it's available online at Amazon and a lot of other online platforms. If you're in America, you can get it in selected Barnes & Noble stores. It's online at Barnes & Noble as well. And what else? It's on all the worldwide Amazons, actually. And if you go into a store, you can go into a store and ask for it, and they'll get it in too. So Flying Without Wings. Okay. So many blessings, love, light, and peace to you all. And Have a beautiful full moon. Bye.